Hey, everybody, welcome to What's Up Wednesday, and thanks for being here. Melinda and I just got back from a much needed week of vacation, and we visited Hawaii. I think it's been 5 or 6 years, maybe, since we took a vacation. And our hope was to see the island of Kauai for the first time and experience what we've heard about Kauai, which is a garden island, beautiful island. Now, we've been to Maui a few times in the past, and we really experienced what you would call the Aloha spirit, which is this very warm, welcoming feeling you get. And we talked a lot about this over the vacation, that we were really surprised and shocked that we didn't get that feeling of aloha. We didn't get that feeling of welcome when we arrived with a lot of the people we interacted with. And again, we talked a lot about this because it was a big surprise to us, and we had high expectations that weren't met. So we started talking a little bit about something that I want to share for this What's Up Wednesday, which is how do you engage people and maybe set an example for others that becomes contagious. And I think we can all probably relate, depending on how much we've traveled, where we live, that it feels in some ways that the connectivity, human connectivity, is not what it was maybe 10 years or 20 years ago. And I think it all depends on perspective, but I know that I travel quite a bit, and I've noticed a difference. I'll tell people that I had a trip to Messina, Iowa, one to Petersburg, Indiana, I believe, all over Oklahoma. Met some of the nicest, most hospitable people I could ever imagine in my travels. I've also been to places where, people really weren't very friendly. And we could probably imagine some of those big cities and where they may be. But, what can we do as individuals, as leaders, to change that? And I think that's the entire point here. And I think what it comes down to is this: we have to set the example and not expect that people are going to necessarily exhibit that openness, that friendliness, that welcome feeling, what I call aloha, wherever we may go. So, how can we influence that? How can we change that? How can we set the example? And I think it's really simple. I teach my kids this all the time: engage people, smile at people when you walk by them, say good morning, ask people how their day's going. I know that I'm a really big fan of striking up a conversation with anybody, anywhere, maybe in the line at the grocery store. It can be, again, anywhere I go. And I think that creating that friendly outreach and that personal touch to building relationships makes all the difference in the world. And I would say that this is definitely an acquired or practiced trait. It isn't something that is necessarily inherent in everybody. My dad was very outgoing, and I watched him, and I think he was the example for me, which made it easy for me. But for many, it's not. Engaging somebody in conversation just isn't a simple thing to do. But start out by smiling, saying good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it may be, asking people how they're doing, holding the door for people. Those little things make a huge difference. And it's amazing how it can change somebody's day. So I think if we all go into our day with this idea that we're going to make somebody's day, and I know I've mentioned this in a What's Up Wednesday, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, but if we all go in with the intention that we want to make somebody's day every single day, then we're going to set that tone. We're going to set that example. And hopefully, we're going to be that aloha spirit. So hopefully, you get some value out of that. And we'll see you next Wednesday.